Hello, folks. How are y'all? Hi. Yeah, just showing you a bit of where I'm at the moment. Oh no, I'll sit down. Um, the thing is, I can't do much here because I'm not, I'm not out on my own. I haven't got my own business, if you like. When I go to work, I work for a company. They take me on as a an employee, if you like. So when you're an employee, and you can't. Although I can do whatever has to be done, I can do it. I can't price job. I can't price the jobs because I'm not. I haven't got. I'm not down on the books as an enterprise, as to call it. How would you say that in French? How would you say that in English? Is an enterprise, enterprise. There you go. So I have to get other people from the village, from the town that I know, to come over and do price it and stuff, and they're going to do the job hopefully. So well, it's only so much I can do. I can only clean up, like I've shown you. I put a tarpaulin down on some of the stuff because with the bad weather and stuff like that. I've cleaned up. I brought stuff to the dump. But other than that, I can't do much, which is a pity because I'd love to get stuck into it. But if I haven't got all the materials and all the gear here, there's no point anyway. There's no point in opening up the roof and the rain coming in on it. And like I said, I'm not haven't got my own. Hopefully in January I'll set up my own business. But until then, other people have to do this work, so I can only do a certain amount. Um, the bathroom's working, the hot water's there, and half of the houses have electricity on it, and one half, the other half doesn't. But all is good, and no one has come to harm. The cat didn't come to any harm. No one's come to harm, which is great. But like I was talking about in the videos, to think positive. Try and find the positive in every negative. And sometimes it's hard, sometimes it is hard, when something like this happens and then the weather's raining on you and it's snowing and you're thinking to yourself, oh my God. And to try and think of the positive. So that's what you have to do in life. But here's a story that I almost forgot. I feel terrible for almost forgetting. When I was young, when I lived in Old Court, my neighbourhood was called Old Court at the time, there was a fire in one of our neighbours' houses. They were called the Cassidys. The family's called the Cassidys. Lovely people, lovely father, lovely mother, six kids. And I don't remember all their names, which is breaking my heart. Because I grew up with them. The eldest was Lisa. Then after that was John. John would be my age. We used to hang around at the time we were kids. We'd play with John. Keith then was after John. Then there was three others, and I don't know their names. They were small kids. I forget their names, and it's terrible. But it was the day after Christmas. But it was Boxing Day. I don't know what year it was. I can't. I'm sure I could Google it and I could find it. But I'm just letting you know now. So it was the day after Christmas, and like I said, this family, lovely family, and the neighbourhood where I lived in at the time was a great neighbourhood, Old Court, because your neighbours, you can go and ask for sugar or milk. You can leave your door open, and every family was like that, and this family was like that, lovely family. And on Boxing Day, at the time, it was like 30, between 35 and 40 years ago. Me being 47 now. The Christmas tree lights. Apparently, it was the Christmas tree lights that went up in fire, up in flames. There's more security on decorations and everything nowadays. There's more security, fire hazards and stuff like that. But at the time, it was the Christmas tree lights. They went up. Would have been 3 or 4 in the morning on Boxing Day. And the two parents, Tucky and Kitty. Tucky, it was his name, a lovely fella. And Kitty, she was Kitty Harvey, a lovely woman. So with the six kids in the house, and the house went up in flames. So the parents woke up, yeah, and seeing all this, and Tucky in his underpants ran out of the house. The mother was getting the kids out and stuff like that, so he thought everything was okay. And in his underpants, the unboxing, I ran up to the fire station. Now the fire station from his house would it be 200 meters, 200 yards, between 200 yards, 250 yards, not more than that, yeah. But it was not a fire station, full on fire station. It's what is it? How would you call it? It's volunteer fire station. If the fire station was there with the fire with the trucks and all, but the people were volunteers, you know. So there was always somebody in the fire station. But if anything went wrong, they'd ring up, and then he'd have to, you know, the alarm would go to all the people in the houses that are voluntary firemen, and they'd have to come down and get their gear on and get down to the fire. So he went up and he ran up and he's banging on the window saying, "There's a fire down in my house. The kids are in the house. The wife's trying to get them out." You know, this is the, you know, he's crying. He's banging on the window. The fella's saying, "Okay, okay, what number of the house is it?" He's trying to ring up. You know, he put the alarm on so the alarm goes to everyone's bleeper or whatever it is, wherever they lived in Bray, in the town that's called Bray. And he's screaming and he's shouting and the alarm's going off and he's thinking that his wife is getting the kids out. Yeah, 200 yards away, and the fire brigade are going to do their thing. But with the fire brigade, the fire station being voluntary, the bleepers have to go off. Now it's Boxing Day, yeah, Boxing Day morning, if you like, 4 or 5 in the morning. So, you know, maybe they weren't expecting it, but they didn't, you know, it took their time to get there. The fire brigade from Dunleary, now Dunleary is a half an hour drive away from the neighbourhood where Old Court where I lived in. But that fire brigade, after ringing them and stuff, they got there before my town, Braytown Fire Brigade got there, which are only 200 metres away. Is the fault of anyone? I don't know. Maybe the fault of not having a full-time fire brigade in that fire station. Maybe that's a fault, but you can't put the fault on those voluntary firemen and firewomen, if you like. So anyway, the Dunleary came. They got there first. Then the Bray, they got there, and the problem was, the mother and the father, they had woke up. So Tucky, the father, had ran up to the fire station while the mother was getting the kids out. But the problem was, the mother got out, yeah, and the eldest daughter, Lisa, Lord mercy on her, she got out. But the other kids didn't get out. John got out, the oldest son, if you like. Him and Lisa were a year between them. He was a bit younger than Lisa. He got out. So you have the mother and the father. The father's up in the fire station, yeah. The mother's out. The eldest daughter and the eldest son is out. The mother, you know, her kids are in there. She, you know, any mother would do, any father would do the same. Ran back in to get the rest of the kids out. There was 5 or other kids in the house. Ran back into the house, 4 or 5 other kids. Ran back into the house, you know, you can hear the kids screaming, whatever. Or not screaming, hopefully the smoke got to them first. I'm not too sure because I was in bed at the time. I was only a kipper. I was only small. But she ran back in to get the rest of the kids out. The eldest daughter, Lisa, after seeing her mother running back in, she ran back in after her mother because she was so afraid for her mother. The eldest son, John, he stood there. He didn't go back in. He was so afraid. God loved him. He was only my age. I would have been 10 at the time, 9 or 10. God loved him. He was crying. He was so afraid. You know, he stood there stiff, you know, with shock, with fear, with everything. So the mother ran back in. Lisa ran back in after the mother. Tucky, the father, came back down saying the fire brigade are on their way and stuff like that. But after the mother going back in and the eldest daughter going back in, they didn't come back out. So it was the mother and 5 of the kids. They stayed in the house, and God loved them. God, Lord have mercy on them. And you know, they didn't make it. Only the father, Tucky, and John, who was my age, a friend of mine that I played with when I was a kid, he got out, thank God. But yeah, so I'm putting this is the story I'm putting on, you know, because as you can see, you know, the house went on fire a bit here and stuff like that. But everyone got out. The cat got out. Everyone got out. There's only fucking tools and stuff that have to be burnt, and the bathroom has to be done, the room has to be done, the roof has to be done. But that's what's all material. When I think back of this family, that they were a lovely, lovely family that came from our neighbourhood, you know, and it was a shock to everyone. It was a shock. It was that year, that Christmas wasn't a good Christmas for nobody in there, nobody in the town even once you hear about that. Especially, you know, a family that dies Boxing Day on a fire, especially when you know them and you live with them and you play with them and you share milk and sugar and you share, you know, words and hello and goodbyes. So yeah, that's why I'm saying, I know it's a sad story and stuff, but just you have to keep positive no matter what happens, you know. And when I think of stuff like that, then I think to myself, Gary, you know, there's worse things going on in the world. So yeah, so people, there you go. Listen, put a bit of like, subscribe, press the button, whatever. I see people, you know, there's a couple of hundred people looking at me videos. Nobody puts a like on. Nobody subscribes. You know, if you're going to look at the video, just press the button. All you do is press like and subscribe. That's all you have to do. So listen, take care, okay? Keep up the good fight and stay positive, people, you know. There's worse off than us in the world, yeah? Always remember that. No matter what happens to you, somebody somewhere else is getting it even worse than what you are and what I am, okay? Love yous all. Take care. Gary Slice of Life. Press down buttons. Bye now.